Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another cast series on EGC TV. This is part of the African Championships, and we are in the semi-finals. And this is part of the $1,500 tournament. Our first semi-finalists are FitzBro and Knuschelbar, who managed to move through the quarterfinals. FitzBro defeating Give You Anxiety, and Knuschelbar overcoming Aussie Drongo. The map here is Savannah. And FitzBro will be playing as the Hausa civilization spawning into the southwest of the map, and his opponent Knuschelbar will be playing as the Ethiopians spawning into the northeast of the map in the colour blue. Looks like we have an early wood contention here, both players wanting to use their chaos ability. A bit of an interesting dynamic though, however, that both chaos abilities cannot stack, and they both are basically waiting for the lions to kill each other off before they can move in for the treasure snipe. FitzBro trying to hang around, but Noosh knows he's there. It's going to be whoever can kill this lion and turn onto the treasure first will pick it up. FitzBro getting away from the treasure a little bit, has to turn around and make a distance, but Knuschelbar already there, ready to pick up the treasure, and FitzBro's running away as it is. Back in base, we do see that there are 4 Sanga cattle on the livestock market. No house just yet here from FitzBro, not chopping for the house. So it looks like he's going to be selling off one of those cattle here to get that house and maybe the hunting dogs tech from the granary. We'll check in how that goes. Let's say looking at Knuschelbar already. Well, he's on the top side and he's getting another wood treasure. That's over 100 wood so far in treasures, and that might equate to a house being made in base. And yeah, he's going to build a house of that. Still having 4 Zebu cattle still on the livestock market, so that should help him as the game progresses, of not having to sacrifice a cattle this early in the game. Yakufu, the name of FitzBro's House Explorers, moving down to the south of the map. He would have come across 35 XP guarded by 1 baboon, a nice easy treasure to take and pick off, but has decided to go back. I think he wants to go for this 2 stray goats, which, 2 livestock for quite an easy treasure picking off. You might as well do that. It is a good treasure to go for. Has he scouted that yet? Well, he has scouted it, but he's deciding to throw down a university in the range of the trading post and the town centre as well, making good use of that extra early influence. So good building placement here from FitzBro. Meanwhile, looking at Knuschelbar, obviously he doesn't have access to the university, but he does throw down an early trading post, sending one of his Sanga cattle to get the wood required to throw down that trading post. Let's have a quick look at Knuschelbar's deck to see what he's repping with. He's got the Aben card, the 2 villagers, 1 Aben, called Trinity. Very nice card that it is. Abens are very, very nice. They get to gather from coin mines a little bit faster than villagers after the mountain monasteries thrown down, but more importantly, these guys can heal units in combat, which is a very strong ability to have. It's not an ability that other civs have, and we see players making good use of this to heal up high value targets like artillery pieces, mercenaries. So we may see Knuschelbar invest into more Abens as the game progresses. Saw in his deck that he had the Romo Migrations card, which ships 1 villager for every single villager you have lost in this game. So let's say if FitzBro moves in with a cavalry raid, which is known to do so with his Lakota playstyle, which he's transferred that to Hausa quite a bit with their Hausa raiders. Knuschelbar has a nice way to get back into the economy if things go a little bit pear-shaped for him. Having a quick look, rest of his deck has the 4 vills, Big Benny makes an appearance, no 700 gold, so looking to use the Big Benny to sell at the market to get an instant 900 coin to jump to the Fortress Age if he wants to go to Age 3, double infantry card, and then we have the triple influence cards in Age 2 to give him some substance in the second age if he wants to fight there. But in third age, 1,000 influence, and we already have the Sebastopol mortar and the 5 Senar horsemen. That just pays homage to the 4 Mamluk shipment that the European civs have. That's a very strong shipment in its own right. Let's have a quick look at FitzBro's deck, currently aging up with the House of Civilization. And he's now sending in House of Kingdom behind this. Let's have a quick check at House of Kingdom for you guys. Ships all of the following builders up until the reach age, exploration age, university builder, and also as you send this card later on, you get more wagons, but gets in a Hausa builder and another builder here from the town centre. Timing it well with the second age. He's got a trade builder as well as another university builder, so a lot of actual buildings coming onto the field straight away for FitzBro. So a really nice timing from Fitz, and just showing experience of playing Hausa is starting to reap its rewards. University being placed as close but still far apart from the previous university, respecting the build radius of these buildings, and a fort is being built in between the two universities. Hausa is quite open to an early rush if they're going for this build order. Most players should know that the fort will be built at the 5-minute mark, so if you can get units in nice and early and do quadruple damage to the foundations, then that's a very tactical way to go about it. But Knuschelbar, he's not going aggressive. He's sitting in base, he's chilling out, he's relaxing, he's having a good time, sending 4 villagers. Big Benny is being sent as next card, researching the second tier food upgrade, I believe. These villagers currently gathering food at 1.05 food per second, and doesn't have too much coin coming in, but doesn't need to, because when he sells off Big Benny, he will have enough resources to jump to the 3rd age. Let's have a quick look at what else is happening in FitzBro's deck at the moment. That's Knuschelbar's deck. Now on FitzBro's, FitzBro has, he doesn't have the Desert Infantry card in Age 2 for 500 coin. I think FitzBro is not a big fan of playing the very overpowered strategies at the moment, but does have hand cavalry damage, hand cavalry HP. Is that Fulani Combat is in there as well? And there's the counter cavalry card for the Javelin Ride as well, which actually may be a tactical card to send on to establish a Dragoon superiority over the Ethiopian opponents, and maybe dissuade Knuschelbar from going for that center horseman shipment we was talking about. One villager here trying to herd in an elephant. Unfortunately, the elephant's been basically picked off far from the town centre, and this villager's going down with it as well. So not a great opening there for Fitz in terms of getting the herd in and keeping the villas alive, but does get the mobility advantage here with the Javelin Riders. Wants to try and sneak in behind and see if he can also do some raiding damage. He does know he's got 5 Javelin Riders nearly about hit the field, and actually get some good damage off the Explorer nearby. Obviously a cavalry unit taking bonus damage, or should be taking bonus damage. He does take bonus. I'd expect he'd take more damage than that than just the 5 Javelin Riders at that moment in time, but it's neither here nor there. Just a bit of an exchange, a bit of a pass by. I think FitzBro is not looking to take a head-on engagement with the Gascanias with just Javelin Riders, and he's very wise to do so. The Gascanias in just straight combat versus Javelin Riders versus European Musketeers versus anything really, which isn't a skirmisher or a cannon, is just incredibly strong at the moment. And look at these units there, 4.5 speed, 14 range, and 24 attack. It's little bits of bonuses from multiple different seers all into one, and it just makes it into a well-rounded, strong, reliable unit. And here comes the Javelin Riders trying to try and pick off a Vil. The Vil being healed up by the town centre there. Can't quite get it. Fitz can't quite get the kill in. Almost loses. Well, he does lose 1 Javelin Rider there, and the Gascanias barely get touched. So a nice little trade there for Knuschelbar. In base, we do see coin being sent here from FitzBro. Another Sanga cattle coming out from the home city. Let's check if any of these guys are quite nearly fattened up. We do have a 307 food cattle here to be eaten if FitzBro wants at the moment. He's got 1200 coin, but not enough food to age at the moment. He may need to eat 2 of these cattle to jump to the next stage. You need to remember, he tried to herd these elephants, but the elephants have gone for a long walk, maybe wanting to stay nearby this pond and trying to feast on these Nile perches. So Fitz has to walk quite far from the town centre to get into these elephants, but now he has a nice massive Javelin Rise to protect them. Actually going for a big batch of Fulani archers here. How much do you guys cost? There they are. So these are archer units which do cost, yeah, they do cost the wood there. I don't think he sold a batch of wood to get that production there, just probably using leftover resources. Now has 100 gold, 1,000 gold precisely. So it's very evident here that FitzBro wants to go to the 3rd age. Meanwhile, Knuschelbar, realising that he hasn't got the mobility advantage, massive musketeers for the time being. He's happy to sit in base, and he's happy to age behind. Ages up with the Indian market rickshaw and the mountain monastery builder, as well as a town centre being thrown down. Did that just get deleted? Did he just lose that? He just deleted it. Oh, I think he I missed that, guys. What happened there? I just saw +3 XP. That means the building's gone. Or maybe he was trying to build an explorer, didn't want to build it in the end, so just deleted it and got most of his wood back. I don't quite know what happened, but the Indian market's down. He's sending in Big Boy, the mortar, training more Guest Kenyas and researching elite Guest Kenya behind here. So going for the classic musketeer, great bombard combination that the Ethiopians are so well known for at the moment. And here come 2 kingdom builders, and let's see what these will be transformed into. So the town centre is actually going down now from one of those builders. Where's this other kingdom building going? He's going for a second town centre? Wow, that's a 2 town centre wagon tech. Maybe just anticipating that actually fits with the one being aggressive, and Knuschelbar is going to sit back a little bit. Has antagonised a couple of javelin riders to move forward, but with elite Guest Kenyas and a Sebastopol mortar, a lot of these Fulani archers, they can't stay here. Most of them are damaged with this big splash radius of 4 splash. 500 base damage as well, doing a ton of damage to FitzBro's units. Look at all the depleted health bars there, and FitzBro has to retreat. It makes sense for him to retreat, though. He's only just aged up, and he wants to get his own technology has been researched. He's now researching elite infantry behind... Oh, he's going to hand cavalry first. Hand cavalry first. He's only got 8 javelin riders. He is sending in the 8 javelin riders as well, so we'll have 16 dragoon-style units. But meanwhile, Knuschelbar, lots of resources in the bank. Sending 3 Aroma warriors behind this, going for the heavy cavalry play here. I'm surprised he's got no Neftenias in his deck. Got quite a few upgrade cards here. That's a Neftenia upgrade. So is this one. That's a villager upgrade. And this is Shower Riders, Javelin Riders, and a Romo combat there. Counter. He's got a lot of upgrades in this deck. Quite a surprising amount, to be honest. I think if you know your opponent's Hausa, who mainly want to go into, let's say, skirmishers, into Javelin Riders, I'm sure that having Neftenia as a shipment in your deck is certainly worth considering. Aroma Warriors here will be nice to ensure the snare and maybe maximize the damage here from the Guest Kenyas, but I'm just worried that these Javelin Riders will be too much for the Guest Kenyas to deal with, or for the Aroma Warriors to deal with, and will fall down afterwards. Don't these guys look like the Rifle Riders there from the Lakota civilization? They gallop towards the front of the map. They have a rifle, but I don't imagine anybody wants to use their rifle attack. With a 4 reload speed, they're very bad in ranged combat. Better to keep them into their melee combat at all times, unless, you know, if they're trying to keep their distance away from pikemen. But that's what these Guest Kenyas are there for, and the Big Boy mortar. Oh wow, another batch of Aroma Warriors here coming from Knuschelbar and upgrading the elite tech for them, which gives them extra 10% combat in the 3rd age. These are kind of pseudo age 3 units in their own right. Pushing forward on the war camp. The palace is under pressure now from the mortar, and FitzBro is just stepping off with his army, not wanting to take the engagement just yet, just waiting to find a perfect time to go for the engagement, trying to utilize the range here of the Fulani archers, trying to pick off as many of these Guest Kenyas as possible, but the mortar's got a lot of range. Look at this range circle. He's going to turn around and try and focus high speed movements, even in the unpacked, where he's only got 1 mode. These archers all in the range. That's a huge shot. 2 kills there, plus lots of damage going down. That's easily probably about 800 HP worth of Fulani archers just going down there. That's a huge volley. It may not look like it, but when you press the Alt key, yeah, just look at the Fulani archers there. Just not really much health remain on these units, and can't lose another building. There's the palace going down. 2 universities are still up. Fulani shipments come in. He's wanting to take this engagement here, but the elite Guest Kenya musketeers standing in front of the big boy here. Fulani archers are pre-gathered and pretty strong up. This is going to be a double kill. Tree's going to fall down. Who knows, it could kill a couple more. falling down. Fletcher trying to get into hand combat. You see Fitz is trying to focus down this mortar, but with 475 HP and a 75% range resist, it basically has an effective HP of about 900, maybe 850. It's so much to focus down. The Fulani archers are not killing the Gaskenyas. The Gaskenyas are still surviving. They're doing damage, and FitzBro's army gets cleaned by the mortars and by the Gaskenyas there. And Knuschelbar taking game number 1 and leads the series 1-0 in this semi-final. It was quite a really interesting game. So we see Hauser not electing to go for the Hauser Tower Rush, which could have put Knuschelbar under pressure, especially considering he was going for a fast fortress strategy. Wasn't really going semi with, let's say, a 4-vil into, I guess, Kenya card, maybe the Abus card, and then agent up behind that. That was 4-vil, Big Benny, sell at the market, get up as fast as possible, get your elite Guess Kenya, send in the mortar, then go for the counter push. Well, meanwhile, Fitz was going for more of a boomy play and more of an economic play with the universities, the forts, the trading post, trying to maximize the civ bonus of the buildings and influence generation. I didn't quite see what all this influence was being spent on, though. I didn't really see too many mercenary units on the field, or let's say units from other civilizations. Obviously, did age up the houses, so probably spent the influence in that way there. But yeah, no Sudanese coming in, or the Lafidi Knights being shipped in the Age 2. Obviously, the Lafidi Knights here probably not the unit of choice versus full Musketeer with these guys. Was it 15 with a full multiplier versus cavalry? Yeah, you cannot go cavalry Age 2 versus this civ. They're just too strong to try pushing with hand cav. And yeah, Knuschelbar just making good use of that mortar, just putting the fluent archers under pressure. And considering these units are classified as low HP units, that they get hard counted by the mortar. And yeah, it was a simple plan, well executed, and congrats go to Knuschelbar for game number 1. Bit of idle before clicking up. I think this was a little bit idle time here, but does age up with a good timing and good tempo behind having shipments ready to go. I did quite actually miss how those 2 town centre wagons go. I don't often see Ethiopian players going for an early 3 town centre boom in that situation, but able to have 3 town centres while pushing up with a Great Bombard and Musketeers, or Sebastopol Mortar and Guess Kenya in the style of heavy infantry like a Musketeer is really strong, and that villager economy behind just growing at a scary pace while putting the pressure on. If FitzBro managed to clean up, well, he would have a tough time trying to get back into the game, as the ecos were starting to increase there from Knuschelbar. All resources total, and you can just see the African civs and the selling mechanic and how the lines just jump up continuously. Every time they make a trade, there you go, boom, another batch of resources, boom, there's another batch of resources, and that just drives the fast tempo that these civs offer for you as players and how you want to go about playing them. The final fight there, yeah, that didn't go great for Fitz, unfortunately. Just more population there for Noosh and artillery, just showing why that shipment is still classified as a very strong shipment. Right, let's move on to game number 2 then. Right, let's go to semi number 1, game number 2. Welcome back, guys, for the second game. This time, the civilizations have been flipped. FitzBro is playing as the Ethiopians, and he'll be spawning to the northeast of the map in the colour green once again. Eating his first Zebu cattle, picking up the 20 coin, and looking to explore the map. Probably will go to the top side. We'll find the permanent hippo treasure present on this map, which is Great Rift. And nearby he does have the gold mine and a couple low tier treasures. 50 food for 1 Ethiopian wolf is a very strong treasure, and that's certainly worth him picking up. Granary going down. Will FitzBro do the classic sell the cattle as soon as the granary goes up, build a house, and research his hunting dogs upgrade from the livestock market? We will find out. I assume he will. Let's look at this Zebu cattle pop away. Yeah, there's pop. Sells at the market, and there's the hunting village dogs and the hut going down.
Hello.
Explorer moving topside, sees 40 coin. We'll pick that up. I don't imagine we'll be using the coin early on. Other good treasures on the map. 2 sugar throwers. Garden 75 woods. There's a little bit of small treasures nearby. I think the middle portion of the map. So draw a line on this waterway for you guys if you want to know where to explore playing this map. We have 100 XP. Guarded by a lion and a warthog, a very strong treasure. If anything, it feels a bit too strong of a treasure. 75 coin guarded by 2 crocodiles, not a good treasure. These units are just ridiculously strong unless you're playing as a Hausa. And 60 coin by 3 Ethiopian wolves. Just doesn't seem worth to go for it. Just take a bit of time to try and micro down 3 units. And yeah, 60 coin usually early on is not that impactful for builds. There's 20 coin right next to it for free. 30 wood for 1 wolf. So yeah, these 2 treasures are quite nice. But certainly the 2 picks here, the Shogo Throwers and the 100 XP treasure. And yeah, the Warthog is so significantly weaker compared to the Lion. If you've got a European Explorer, just crack shot the Lion. And the Warthog should go down about, I think it's 5 shots in a hand combat. So you can certainly take a shot, kite it twice, kill the Lion, move in and collect the treasure there. And also, because it's a Lion and these Treasure Guardians XP bounty was buffed, that there is 132 XP to be taken, and that is certainly very nice to speed along your first shipments, especially if you're playing civilizations like India, as Germany, or as other shipments, other civs who like to send 2 H1 shipments. I'm thinking Brit, Virginia Company as a second card. So yeah, certainly keep an eye out for those. And FitzBro running past this treasure now, and we'll go for it. Takes a shot at the Lion, takes a second shot at the Lion, only now causes Chaos ability. Remember, in the latest hotfix, we do not see Chaos ability as an ability, so you can't tactically know when it's safe to go for a treasure or not. But Knuschelbar is straight on this. He's just going to go. He's got his own Chaos ability to go for. What do you call it? These 2 treasure guys on low H health P. As soon as they reset, I don't think he really wants to take it again because he knows that FitzBro is nearby for the steal. I think both players are just going to have a gentleman's agreement and back away. And the Lion and the Warthog, they survive for another time, for another day. I think this Weasel's drowning. Okay, so he just got his head above the water. Yeah, he's just having a good time there, just chilling in the water. This one's laying on the mud back there, just going, look, isn't it such a warm, lovely day? I'm surprised they're not being eaten by the Lion, though. That would be a tasty meal for those. Right, let's have a look into FitzBro's base. He is now researching tribal societies. Someone's got very high screen drag rate. I was going to try and get the flag, but I missed him and ended up dragging the screen across the map. He's got his GUA deck, the deck he used to defeat the mighty one himself, Give You Anxiety. Aroma Migrations, we see from the last game, does have the 700 coin, does have G-Suit Influence, moves to the second age. 9 hand cannon is still to be found here. Shotel Warriors make an appearance, which is quite nice versus Fuluni Archers from Hausa. Age 3, there's the castle, double gets Kenya's mortar. He's got his mortar back in the deck. I remember FitzBro not liking the mortar very recently, but he's gone for the mortar this game, and double mortar into the 4th age. Do we see Chaos? We don't see Chaos in this deck. I think Chaos was banned. A card which is stronger than the Chaos God Power of the Atlantean Titan. I can't remember which Titan it was, but I've seen it used once, and once was enough for me today. Anyway, FitzBro dropping down a trading post. Knuschelbar has already got his trading post down to the south of the map. So Knuschelbar, was he trying to go for his second post himself? I don't think he was. Doesn't have enough wood for it. Let's look at his deck and see what he's up to. Obviously, he's got a trading post under no support from a palace. Back at home, he's got double war camp going up really fast. No palace, no university. Looks like early indications that Knuschelbar wants to be aggressive here. Maybe this is going to be double Javelin Rider? I wouldn't say no to double Javelin Rider, to be honest. Just get the mobility, put the pressure in, strike in and around, and try and pick off Guess Kenyas in low numbers. Could be a decent strategy here. We'll have to see what his unit progression is. He did have some wood available, so it looks like he's going for a mixed batch of Fulani and Javelin Riders. But double batch, double war camp does suggest age 2 play. Let's have a look at his deck. For Vil, 700 wood behind, go and send in that. So yeah, 700 wood, that should provide housing population, more resources for Fulani. Don't think he'll try and go for... I don't think he can... I guess he could try and go for the palace on the 700 wood, because you need to spend the influence somehow, and that can be a nice way to spend it at a later point. Oh, don't shoot the warhog, shoot the lion. Always got to kill the lion first. Got to kill it. I suppose with always colonial units here, that really does not matter at all. 5 Jav Riders, 5 Fulani Archers. Javelin Riders just a very, very strong unit specifically, and they move across the map. FitzBro knows that treasure's been picked off. I guess he can assume it was just the Explorer, but if he was watching carefully, he would be able to see the health of the units going down very fast, suggesting military units out on the map. Which, if that's the case, 5 Kenyans roaming the map on their own without any scout support is a bit risky. The scout does see the Jav Riders and Fulani Archers, and I think that should be enough indication for FitzBro to go back, and FitzBro trying to get his path his way. No, that was Knuschelbar trying to path down, but accidentally clicking onto the water, creating a water waypoint. Back into FitzBro's point of view, we're seeing wood being shipped behind, so let's check his card order. Forville, J Swift influence into 700 wood, so there should be 200 influence and the quarter wood. He obviously has the mountain monastery to spend some of the influence. The church, you can spend the influence on obviously your gas lighting there, but I don't think you'd want to really spend it there. So he's got 600 stacked up. Is he going to save it for the Cannoneer shipment coming up afterwards? That might be quite useful. You might get a palace down on the wood shipment here. Could be built it with the Explorer. Ethiopians can build palaces, can't they? I think they can. That is where they get their consulate-style units from. Big Benny is being sent now, and Christian schools are being researched here for the Mountain Monastery. That's where some of that influence is being spent. This Ebun is gathering coin at 0.54 coin per second, which is actually a bit down on what a normal villager would gather at a coin mine. Is gathering influence at the same time though, so I suppose he's splitting the coin gather and the influence generation to get more influence than he would do before. Early engagements here, we do have Kenyans trying to push away the Fulani Archers, but Fulani Archers have been trying to maintain their range and utilising their slight speed advantage over the Kenyans there. And Raiders also being trained here by Knuschelbar. He's got a 3-unit composition, which is actually quite nice. Kenyans is getting away from the town centre now. This is getting a bit risky. A couple of villagers nearby as well also attacking and wants to bring them back as fast as possible. Now we're in the danger territory. This is too far from the town centre here, and having just Kenyans versus pure Fulani Archers with a 1.5 multiplier and obviously a fast fire rate is a bit risky. With only 6 Kenyans, I won't be surprised if this pulls the trigger for the Javelin Riders to go back in and just overwhelm the opponents. A couple of villagers trying their best to get hunting, but cavalry units are nearby. Where's Big Benny? Has he been sold yet? Big Benny is standing by, ready to go to the market, but not quite on the market just yet. Does have maximum coin available to be sold from it, but yeah, I guess he wants to sell it. He's got all villagers on the food for the time being. More villagers going down over here, and Kenya is not getting the trade that they need right now for FitzBro. Knuschelbar taking a decisive lead at the moment in the second age. Big Benny's still on the field. He does nearly have 1,000 influence, so we'll be able to send a big shipment, which is just going to be the Cannoneers. So he's actually sending Kenyans. 1,000 influence still on the floor, ready to be spent, and Big Benny ready to be sent to the market. So a lot of potential here from FitzBro still to be unlocked, but he's deciding to not unlock that potential. He's calling GG, being denied from the hunt forward his base. Did he know there's hunt back here? He might have not actually known there's hunt back here. Should know there's a hunt available, but I don't think it was the hunt perspective because he has a lot of resources. I think he's just trying to age up, and then was caught in between. Does he want to make defensive units, or does he want to try and age and get the tech? And yeah, Knuschelbar pushing with mainly Javelin Riders and Fulanis. The Raiders were present, but not really contributing too much to the competition. But how the Fulani Archers just kind of baited the Kenyans out the base and was just able to overwhelm them out damage per second. A couple hunts here out the town centre range. Corville's going down, and then just FitzBro losing against Kenya Mass. And even if he did age up behind, well, there's a lot less guess Kenya's there to tech into the elite infantry when you send it to cover your mortar shipment. So Knuschelbar taking 2-0 in this series, in this best of 5. Will FitzBro come back in? It's his opportunity to come back in now. I believe FitzBro does get to play the African Civ now, and Knuschelbar will have to pick a non-African Civ, which we can say that the African Civs are a cut above the other Civs, so it should be advantage FitzBro now. Yeah, just a lot of extra population there for Knuschelbar. Knuschelbar had the plan to mass in H2 and put the pressure on. I think he consciously realised that it was a map where if you want resources, you kind of have to push out on the map. Let's have a quick look. Is it just a single gold mine map? It's no, it's double gold mine. Lots of trees and berries. So I don't think you can starve your opponent out, especially when you're playing versus an African opponent with extra cattle and the 900 food crates in Big Benny. Just gather this up for 900 food. Send it twice. Yeah, African Civs can't get starved out. So I think there was more to it. Maybe just Fitz just thought he was further behind than he was. Was Knuschelbar full? He was macroing to age as well. Okay, yeah, that's a tough situation. For some reason I thought you just a full commit there to H2, but just a very nice H2 timing, and then aging behind would have been tough to deal with in the third age. GG, let's move on to the next game. Right, let's go to game number 3 of this semi-final, number 1 between Knuschelbar and FitzBro. Oh, FitzBro has to play Lakota here. Knuschelbar gets to play Hausa. Well, this is going to be tough. Okay, guys, we're in the third game of this semi-final number 1. It is Knuschelbar leading the series 2-0 versus FitzBro for the time being. And we do see Knuschelbar spawning into the southeast of the map, Darfur. Let's take off my view spectator lock. And yeah, he's spawning down here in the colour blue, playing as the House of Civilization, early granary. Probably going to do this classic sell the market for a house and the food tech. But we do see 2 cavalry explorers. Yes, that's right. This is a Hausa versus Lakota. This is Lakota old versus Lakota new. And I was chatting to somebody about this. Some people say that this is a Lakota win. Easy win. But some actually would say it's a Hausa favoured. I've played this matchup versus Fitz as the Lakota player. And he was playing as Hausa. And I got my behind very handed to me there by Fitz. He's very experienced with Hausa. Basically, imagine this Civ. Both players here will be going full bow rise, full jav rise, and yes, FitzBro is very right to identify that crocodiles are insanely strong. They are the same HP as a lion and the same attack as a tiger. They're not alligators, they're crocodiles, and they mean business. You cannot stand underneath them, and I think that's the problem for the Lakota Explorer, is that they do have, obviously, a one-hit kill, but they don't have anything else. They have to stand and try and fight the crocodile, and 210 HP and 13 hand attack with a fast rate of fire, biting this Explorer called High Eat Minuteman with only range resist. FitzBro's not feeling too fire today. He's already saying that if it was a ladder match, he would resign, and I understand the frustration, but got to pep yourself up. You can get bow rise out early in H2 and then revive your Explorer to basically full health then, and you kind of play the game from there. You are downwards, and you're down every other treasure on the map, really. So it's free reign here for Knuschelbar to try and come back in and make the most of the map he's been given to by his opponents. So yeah, this is for me, this is a matchup where Lakota and Hausa, they kind of want to aim for the same things. They want to take trading posts. They want to get their shipments rolling. They want to build 2 stables or 2 war academies. They both want to double produce bow riders or javelin riders. And let's looking at Fitz's deck. He does have triple cavalry card. He does have his Tushunki cards. Was it the Marauders and Tushunki support? Doesn't have European Arsenal, which may be a very strong shipment to have. That gives the Lakotas the access to the Ranged Cavalry Caracol and the Cavalry Cuirass upgrade there from the TPs. And let's look at Knuschelbar's tech. He's going for his quick woodcutting upgrade there from the market. Quick look into the home city, and we don't see hand cavalry upgrades in Age 2. We do see, though, counter cavalry tactics in Age 3 for the Javelin Riders. Magadai HP and attack, and Fulani Archer Combat. But these two cards, the counter cavalry tactics, is absolutely huge here. Center Horseman is very nice. No Berber support here, but does have the Berber Civ to use if he wants. And oof, that is nasty to see. Knuschelbar taking an early 3 TP to 0 TP against the Lakota player. Lakota, they don't have access to the European Church. They do have the Fire Pit, or the Community Plaza, shall I say. Pardon me for that one. But they usually would prefer to take a trading post, but they can't with this village explorer down. So you would have to send a villager across the map to the trading post to build it very, very slowly. But yeah, that's been denied because Knuschelbar with a Civ which can sell cattle for instant batches of wood at the market, which I don't think is actually done. I think it's just hand chopped all of this. Oh no, he said a trade empire. Oh, this is interesting. This is actually a really nice play. I just anticipated Knuschelbar selling cattle for wood, but he's actually sent ATP for the Hausa, which is the same card for the Asians have. Trade Empire, 20% off your TP's cost, but also send a trading post wagon and have extra HP. Yeah, Lakotas are not sieging this in H2, not a chance. And yeah, safe trading post play behind here for Noosh. And FitzBro, his options are already looking a bit lacking. He's having to chop woods to try and get a building down. He's looking to try and get some sort of trading post. I don't think we go Berbers here. I think he's seen the 3 TPs in the top right. I think his heart sunk a little bit. He's maybe market stable. He's aging up with the Chiefs. That's an extra 400 woods here. So I'm thinking, well, double stable market. He's now got more wood than he really knows what to do with. I guess, now he's sending wood. Sending more wood. Is this double Warheart infantry play? This is probably the only thing it can be at the moment for this build to have kind of coherency to it. Does scout the defensive Warheart being thrown down. Sudanese is being taken by Knuschelbar. Remember, this train post now costing... It doesn't cost 200, it costs a little bit less. It doesn't cost 200, it costs a little bit less. Don't make me have to work it out manually from the home city. There you go. It's 20% cheaper, so it's going to be 160 wood for a trading post. So he's saving 40 wood on each trading post, which he still wants to get. The Berbers. Obviously, he's going to throw down maybe a palace at some point at university, but this is general influence and yeah. Double war camp, the same build order basically last game that Noosh is going for. So I'm expecting Jav Rider, Fulani Archer mix. I do see Berbers being... Wait, what? Berber Nomad. Where's this guy? Oh, it's gone from Native Embassy. He's up with the Berbers and sending Berber support. Is this a... It's not a town center. It's a town center card. What? Okay, 1 Berber Nomad per own trading post and town center. Oh, wow, that's actually... Okay, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 town centers. That's for 5 Berber. He's got 5 Nomads. Does he still train? You can get more than 5 Berbers? I swear this is only capped out of 5. Oh, what a great build order here from Knuschelbar. Kind of creating a new bit of meta here for the House of Civilization, and Knuschelbar is still trying to catch up. FitzBro is still trying to catch up from 2 minutes behind. Unfortunately, yeah, War Club Siege is just... they're respectable. It's not too bad. It's not too bad, but Javelin Riders here coming out from Knuschelbar. Double Jav Rider batch, just the correct play here. Mobilizing the range advantage, mobilizing the speed, and yeah, these guys just gonna outclass the War Clubs quite drastically. War clubs are kind of classed as the trash units of the Dakota. They're specialising in the cavalry department, but here comes the double defensive war huts. Small batch of Setons behind us. What's FitzBro sending behind this? He's sent double wood cars. He's just going all in on the production here. But the Hausa even his House Explorer could do massive damage here to the Setons. Good position here. We'll get some damage on the retreat. We'll pick off 2 Javelin Riser you'd expect. So it's 2 in HP worth, yeah, so that's a good pick there. But the momentum from the train posts, and I'm surprised Noosh hasn't gone for ATP yet. Well, not ATP, Stagecoach, because how is Lakota going to siege this? And even if they do siege, they still then have to spend 200 wood to get one. It takes a bit of investment. Here come Fulani Archers behind it from Knuschelbar. Looking at his deck. That's going to be, was it 4 Vills afterwards he just sent? That's a lot of Vills on the map he's just sent here. Another batch of Javelin Rise coming out. Lots of food in the base. Could sell for castle for coin to get that batch complete. But FitzBro, he realizes he's strategically in a poor position. Can't deal with the buildings and the army together. Could do it with one or the other, but couldn't do it with both. Having to go for the early community plaza. Double ships of wood. Yeah, it's African Civs just really strong versus non-African Civs at the moment, it feels like. And Knuschelbar getting the 3rd victory in this best of 5. And we say congratulations to Knuschelbar advancing to the next round into the final. FitzBro, although this series probably outplayed by the stronger opponent, has put in a very good performance this tournament, taking out Giving Anxiety. And a lot of people were surprised by that result. Is this an early retirement for Giving Anxiety? Who knows? Let's see how Giving Anxiety will bounce back in the coming months ahead. But unfortunately, FitzBro's tournament run here will end today. Knuschelbar will move on to the final round. And to be fair, I think most people assumed that Knuschelbar will make it to the final. So no upsets there. But we could say that on the other side there was an upset in the first round. But we'll get to that when we start casting. Final thoughts for this game. Just a build order here from Knuschelbar. Let's just forget that the Explorer went down to the Crocodiles, which you got to remember, Crocodiles 210 HP, 13 attack. They are way too strong if not careful, and especially not worth taking on low treasures. But the rest of the timeline here, let's just look at the villager count here for Knuschelbar. That's the Berbers being trained. So that's 2 Berbers, and then another batch of Berbers being sent from the home city there for the 3 trading posts, 1 town centre, 1 native post, so that's up +5.